3 times a charm. Welcome, 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 ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and everybody in between. Jacob Boys got a sports show, and you are tuning in to that sports show. How was your day? How's your day going? Today we're going to preview the NFL weekend. I decided to now split up the prediction show between the NFL and college football so I can talk about more games. And yeah, we'll see how this format plays out. I think I'm doing it to talk about more games and just to have content, have certified content for both Thursday and Friday. So we're going to hop right into it. House cleaning at the end, outside of asking you to like, rate, and share the show. Really, really helps out. So let's get right into it. Before we actually get into the predictions, we got to talk about World Series Game 5. I'm going to scoot you up a little bit. Ignore the shaking. For those watching the video, I apologize so greatly. Please don't yell at me. World Series Game 5 happened last night, and it was disappointing. It was disappointing. It was a fine game, 0-0 until I believe this eighth, seventh, no, it was the eighth inning. Until the eighth inning where the Rangers scored a run, but the Diamondbacks were able to get out of it, but they weren't able to do anything. Their defense was phenomenal to a point until the ninth inning where the Diamondbacks yet again just got rattled and their soul got sucked out and they couldn't do anything batting the ball. So I think the Diamondbacks lost this game more than the Rangers won, but you can call me a hater for that. The Rangers win their first World Series in franchise history. Congratulations to them. I was right to rock with them in these World Series playoffs. Again, as I said at the beginning of the World Series, my dad was a Rangers fan when he was growing up. So when I saw that the Rangers were in the playoffs, I immediately had to start cheering for the Rangers. So good on them. To the Diamondbacks, you'll be all right. Right? You got rattled because it's a relatively young team. You'll be fine. Your pitching core is pretty good. Just keep that together. You have some decent bats. You have a great rookie. You'll be all right. So let's move straight into these predictions. Now, how this is going to work is I'm going to go over every game, say something about every single game, but some games I delve deeper into than others just because I'm more interested in it. So that's just how it's going to go. So let's get into it. Starting off with tonight, the Tennessee Titans are visiting the Pittsburgh Steelers. Of course, this is one I did a lot of research in. Yes, partly because the Titans are my favorite team, but also Will Levis is making his second start. Will Levis, who's coming off a phenomenal performance against the Atlanta Falcons this past Sunday. And I said this on TikTok, and I'll say it on here. Will Levis is going to have, or is having, one of the toughest debut weeks in NFL history for a quarterback. Why? So, throughout the week, preparing for Atlanta, he doesn't even know if he's going to get the full start. He doesn't even know if he's going to get 50% of the snaps. All he knows is he's splitting reps with Malik Willis. Goes in there, completely takes over, takes the starting spot, does amazing, but has this team that he thought he was splitting reps for, where the receivers can't get any separation at all. The Titans' receiving core is one of the worst in terms of separation. At tight end, Chigakonkwo, the breakout season that everybody, including non-Titans fans, thought Chigakonkwo would have, is just not happening. The offensive line is garbage. You have a good running back room, but the offensive line is garbage. The receivers suck, and Chig is so disappointing. Yet he goes out and he does that. Well, I'm just saying, like, that is what he has to work with, right? And then 4 days later, this dude has to go into Pittsburgh, a historically very hard place to play. And he has to cross his fingers and hope and pray that the wrath of TJ Watt is warded off by Nicholas Petit-Frere, because Chris Hubbard's hurt, and Andre Dillard. If he comes out, and I said this on TikTok, I'm going to say it on here. If he comes out and he looks as poised as he did on Sunday, if he comes out these 2 games with 2 wins, and in both of those wins, he looks really good, it's going to be hard not to convince me this dude's already a top 10 quarterback after surviving this week looking like a very good quarterback. But I mentioned Chris Hubbard is out, so that means Nicholas Petit-Frere is going to start at right tackle, most likely. I hear he's getting some work at left, but I think that was before Chris Hubbard got injured. And I'm looking right now. DeAndre Hopkins is listed as questionable, and I'm looking to see if there's an update on that. Latest yada yada yada. Okay. Sorry about that. DeAndre Hopkins is listed as questionable, and then the Titans are going to be without Roger McCreary, who looks like the best corner that the Titans have. So it looks like Christian Fulton is going to be tasked with George Pickens, which was already the case, but Christian Fulton is coming off 2 good games. Christian Fulton has had some bad games this season. Titans fans wanted Christian Fulton out of there. But he's had 2 pretty good games, and he's going to be matched up with George Pickens, which is a very hard task. And of course, the cornerback room is finished out with Sean Murphy-Bunting, who's good. Of course, we don't have KB anymore. I don't know why I'm talking about the DBs right now. The most interesting matchup in this game is going to be the Titans' offensive line versus TJ Watt and the Steelers' pass rush. Titans' offensive line is awful. The Steelers' pass rush is averaging. The Steelers' pass rush is averaging 3 sacks a game, while the Titans are giving up around 3 sacks a game. Now, they can only manage 3 sacks against the Jaguars last week, and the Jaguars don't have that good of an offensive line, but the Titans have a worse offensive line, and the Steelers have shown multiple times that they can and will get to the quarterback. And TJ Watt has shown when he gets to the quarterback, he's going for that ball. He's going for that ball. Will Levis is going to have his hands full, so the Titans' offensive line. Now, on the defensive standpoint, Steelers are missing Minkah Fitzpatrick, which is a big loss for them. Joey Porter Jr. is slowly coming into his own, playing phenomenal. So if DeAndre Hopkins is playing, I expect Joey Porter Jr. to be, covering him the majority of the time. And hopefully that doesn't shut down DeAndre Hopkins. Talking as a Titans fan, because the Titans, outside of DeAndre Hopkins, has Treylon Burks, who has not played that good this season. Kyle Phillips, who is slowly getting a bigger role in the offense, but isn't that great. Nick Westbrook-Akine, who I think is overhated in Tennessee, but still not amazing. The Titans will definitely have their hands full, but the Steelers will have their hands full with Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry is coming back. Derrick Henry, everybody thought he was going to be traded at the trade deadline. That didn't happen. And Derrick Henry does not look old. If you watch Derrick Henry, he does not look. My boy Theo Ash on TikTok said it, and I've been saying it. Until Derrick Henry falls off, I'm not going to say he's too old to produce, because they've been saying that for the past 3 years, and he's still producing at elite levels. Now, on the offensive side for the Steelers, Kenny Pickett is a game-time decision, in which if he does not start, that means Mitchell Trubisky will start, which say either way. The Titans' defense is a pretty good defense. Of course, missing Roger McCreary, which will hurt, but their defensive line is disgusting, can get after the quarterback. I've said enough about this Titans-Steelers game. It's really time to move on. I have the Titans winning 27-20. This game can go either way, but I think Will Levis is going to carry the momentum that he's gotten from Sunday. I think this team is going to get very hot, hopefully. So let's move on. Dolphins, Chiefs, which I said that the Bills-Bengals was the AFC game of the week. This is probably the AFC game of the week. The issue is, this game is going to be played in Germany, which fine. I'm not totally opposed to. That means this game is at 8:30 in the morning, which means a lot of people are going to miss it, including myself. Now, the Chiefs' offense this year has been very, very suspect, but the Dolphins' defense has not been that great. The Chiefs' defense has looked pretty good. The Dolphins' offense, elite. And one fact I really want to focus on in talking about this game is the travel. The Miami Dolphins arrived in Germany on Tuesday. The Kansas City Chiefs are flying there tomorrow morning. Travel is very important. I Travel is very, very important, especially in these international games. The Dolphins getting there on Tuesday, so they have a least likely chance to, um, be jet lagged, be tired from travel. I think that's going to affect the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs have a very good chance of coming out flat. Now they lost to the Broncos, so they probably got a little chip on their shoulder to come back, not lose two in a row. It's very rare that Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes lose 2 games in a row, but I think that it happens right here just because of how shaky that offense is. The travel being a big, big factor, and I know some of y'all might roll your eyes at that, but travel is a very big factor, and Miami did the smart move in going earlier in the week. I have the Dolphins winning 31-25. Now the Cardinals are going to Cleveland. The Cardinals just traded away Josh Dobbs. Clayton Tune, who sounds like a country singer from one of your favorite sitcoms, will be starting at quarterback for the Arizona Cardinals and going against the best defense in the league. And I'm telling you right now, the Browns are just going to have their way. Browns win 24-3. There's nothing to say about this game. The Commanders are going up to New England. I wrote the score down. I didn't write who wins. Pat's defense is still very good. The Patriots team in general is a very shaky team, but that defense is still very good. I should have checked if Matthew Judon and Christian Gonzalez are playing. That's how you be a good content creator. Commanders defense was good, was fine. I don't want to say good, was fine. And then they gutted their defensive line. And Mac Jones is not a great quarterback, but now, I mean, they have 2 good interior defensive linemen, but no pass rush. No pass rush. I think the Patriots win 23-17. Nothing more needs to be said. Of course, you got Eric Bieniemy. The Commanders' offense being held to 17 is going to be something, but, The Seahawks are going to the Ravens. The Seahawks just claimed the title, the lead in the NFC West by the 49ers, losing 3 games straight. The Ravens defense looking very, very good, but their offense looking very, very shaky. And that's going to be the story pretty much, is the Seahawks offense versus the Ravens defense. It seems like the Seahawks offense is getting its legs under them after having a very inconsistent start. Like I said, that Ravens defense is very, very good. I have the Ravens winning 24-14. 10-point difference doesn't really feel right for what this game looks like it could be. A little dark horse Super Bowl matchup maybe. But I have the Ravens winning 24-14. Vikings at Falcons. This would have been an interesting game if Kirk Cousins didn't get hurt, but unfortunately Kirk Cousins is hurt. And the Vikings traded for Joshua Dobbs, but it's sounding like they're going to start Jaren Hall right here, their rookie quarterback. I have the Falcons winning 24-10. I think giving 10 points to the Vikings under Jaren Hall is wild. Maybe Jaren Hall comes out and is, the next big thing, right? I don't want to shit on this dude too bad, but he's going against the top 10 defense. Not everybody can be Will Levis. Not everybody can be Will Levis, Jaren Hall. So I have the Falcons winning 24-10. Rams at Packers. This is going to be an ugly game. This is going to be an ugly, ugly game. The Packers, with their inability to do anything in the first half and their ability to do everything in the second half, well, the Rams are just the Rams. The Rams are just the Rams. I have the Rams winning 17-14, but it's a game-winning field goal after just an ugly, ugly game. Bucks are going into Houston. Bucks have a very solid defense. Texans hype is kind of dying down. They just handed the Panthers their first win. Everybody was talking about how the Texans aren't as bad as everybody was making it out to be, and now they're really slowing down. I have the Bucks winning 23-14. 14. Bears at Saints. Bears are starting Tyson Bagent in a continued smear campaign of Justin Fields. For whatever reason, this Bears organization wants to ruin Justin Fields and then tell him it's all his fault. It's a crazy, crazy situation down there in Chicago. I have the Saints destroying the Bears 30-10. And that's all I got to say. Pray for Justin Fields. Pray that Justin Fields makes it out of there very soon. The Colts are going to Carolina to face the Carolina Panthers. Panthers got the first win last week over the Texans, but it took a lot. It took a lot to beat the Texans. The Colts are a very good team. I have the Colts winning 27-13. The Giants face the Raiders, going to Las Vegas. The Raiders coming off an embarrassing offensive performance against the Lions in a game they should have won. They're also coming off firing their head coach, Josh McDaniels. They're coming off firing their offensive coordinator, Mike Lombardi, and they're coming off firing their GM, Dave Ziegler. I think the Giants win this 26-14. Dimes is coming back. You know, if they were starting, what was his name, Tommy DeVito, if they were starting him, I'd give this to the Raiders because the Giants' offense just would not be doing anything. You saw bubble screens on 3rd and 21. But Dimes is coming back. The Giants are going to get this win 26-14. Now the Cowboys go into Philly to face the Philadelphia Eagles. Micah Parsons versus that Eagles offensive line. Man, this should be a good game. This should be a good game, but both of these teams have shown that they can just put up goose eggs, dude. These two teams shown that either they're going to be NFC contenders or middle of the pack NFC teams. I don't trust either of these teams. Now AJ Brown is going on a record-breaking season. Oh man, I need to collect my thoughts. I am scrambled right now. AJ Brown is going on a record-breaking season going against a Cowboys defense that is without their best corner, but still playing okay pass defense. But the real story is the Cowboys defense is ranked 19th. Is it 19th? 18th in rush defense. 18th in rush defense, and we all know Eagles' bread and butter is running the football. So what happens? I believe that this series gets split, and I believe that being that this game is in Philadelphia, I think the Eagles win 28-20, but it all depends on Dak Prescott. Can Dak Prescott show up? Can Dak Prescott show up against a division rival? Can Dak Prescott show up against the game of the season? Sure. Can Dak Prescott show up? I'm not so sure. And the narratives are going to run crazy with this one of the Eagles winning 28-20. Now the Bills are going into Cincinnati for Sunday Night Football. And I don't trust the Bills. I never have. I haven't since, and y'all have heard it on the podcast. My followers on TikTok hear it all the time. Their Super Bowl was the overtime loss against the Chiefs. Ever since then, this team just has not been the same. And it's starting to approach the point where the Bills are going to fall off. They're still going to make the playoffs, but they're not Super Bowl contenders. And the Bengals are getting hot. The Bengals are returning to form. Like I said last week, or earlier this week, the Bengals are just this team that plays sleeping giant the first couple of weeks of the season, and around week 6, week 7, they're going to start returning to form, and the Bengals are returning to form. The Bengals win this 35-20 in a matchup that is going to make you start questioning the Bills' validity and questioning if it's time for Buffalo to dismantle the core they have there. Fire the head coach, gut the older pieces they have, and restart. Not totally, but Not rebuild, retool, I should say. And the Chargers and the Jets are playing on Monday Night Football. This should be an interesting game for football fans. I don't think this is going to be a highly watched game. I don't trust the Chargers. I just don't. But I don't trust Zach Wilson either. I don't trust the Jets either. At least the Jets offense. But I think the Jets defense makes just enough plays. I have the Jets winning 23-20. Yeah, I think the Jets defense makes that's probably too high of scoring for this game, to be honest. But that's how it is. So to recap, and we'll go backwards. I have the Jets beating the Chargers 23-20. I have the Bengals beating the Bills 35-20. I have the Eagles beating the Cowboys 28-20. I have the Giants beating the Raiders 26-14. I have the Colts beating the Panthers 27-13. I have the Saints beating the Bears 30-10. I have the Bucks beating the Texans 23-14. I have the Rams beating the Packers 17-14. I have the Falcons beating the Vikings 24-10. Ravens beating the Seahawks 24-14. Patriots beating the Commanders 23-17. Browns beating the Cardinals 24-3. Dolphins beating the Chiefs 31-25. And the Titans beating the Steelers 27-20. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and everybody in between. Jacob Bowie's got a sports show. You just tuned into that sports show. Tune in tomorrow. Hello. Tune in tomorrow for my college football preview. And also, we're going to talk about the Thursday night game that happens tonight. Yep. Follow me on Twitter at JJester615. Follow me on TikTok at JakeBoySports. Follow the show's Twitter, Jackie's Show, with 2 S's. Email me questions, comments, concerns, whatever you want. Old Jackie Boy 1021. That is OLE Jackie Boy 1021 at gmail.com. And I'll see y'all tomorrow. Kisses, hugs, all that. Peace.